Hi guys, I am out in front of the house. We just started the inspection. We've just had a windstorm, so the roof has quite a lot of pine needles and stuff on it. You can probably see from here. The inspector was just up there. He says he estimates the roof to be, I think he said 5 to 7 years old. Just taking a look around the neighborhood. This home right here is a home. I mentioned I sold a home right down the street. That one's it right there. I just sold that. It just closed about a month ago. And it was the same scenario. It was my listing, but we had lots and lots of offers. We got an offer at 390, and then the appraisal came back at 378, and that's the price that we ended up at. So anyhow, of course, the one home that I didn't come up in video does have some cosmetic issues. We haven't found anything fatal, but like this front deck could use a coat of paint. Inside the house, there's dents and dings and blemishes that aren't apparent in the pictures. But anyway, I'm going to just go ahead and walk through. The inspector is inside. He's already going. But like here on the deck, you can see the paint. And so I'm going to go ahead and walk through. Got some light functionality issues, and I'm planning to ask that they go through and replace bulbs. We'll see how that goes. But anyhow, again, nothing horrible. It's not particularly clean. It's and as we walk through, you'll see that there are a few little cosmetic things. Better look out in the backyard. And I'll walk out there here in a minute. So the inspector has the dishwasher running. He'll check that, check all the plumbing. And we haven't talked a whole lot about that. I know he sent you an email regarding scope of inspection. But he'll go through, he'll run water through everything that takes water. He'll put a tester into every single electrical outlet, so on and so forth. Run the furnace, check the temperature of the water coming out of the water heater, all that sort of thing. So anyway, and we've got, little stuff like this where this rail was painted, and you can see where something has rubbed it, and the old finish is coming through. This bathroom doesn't have light. I don't know how well you can see this, a number of the light switches have the covers removed. This one is actually taped in the off position, and I don't know what that's about. And I'm going to ask the question, I'm going to get a flashlight and see if I can figure it out. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and make a stop in here. So I would say these people are a little bit messy. There's the water heater, and it's strapped up for earthquake and everything, even though it is an electric water heater. And it looks like it's the original water heater to the home. This is Bill, our inspector. He's currently got the electrical panel open, and he's checks to make sure that the proper breakers are in there, that there's no like double connected wires or loose wires or spongy breakers, all that kind of stuff. So but this is kind of a symptom of this real estate market, in that people sometimes don't do a very good job of cleaning up and getting ready for the sale when they know they're going to have 50 different people bidding on the home. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead, and the furnace looks like the original furnace as well. It was installed, it was last inspected, it looks like, in 17. So we'll want to get it inspected. And the big thing they're inspecting for, and again, this is electric as well, it's not gas, but the big thing they're inspecting for is the heat exchanger, and to make sure that no fumes make it into the house, that sort of thing. With an electric furnace, obviously, that's much less of a concern. So, but I will say I can see you guys wanting to do some painting when you get in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and head upstairs. This carpet is not very clean, kind of matted a little bit on the stair, which is not unusual. And this is the master here. And see, here's another, I mean, it's functional, but they've got the covers removed, and I don't know why. Maybe they were probably just getting ready to replace them. Maybe they were cracked or something. You can see where they dabbed the ceiling a little bit there. So, yeah, I think with the number of outlets that are exposed like that, I think that they probably have a bag full of outlet covers somewhere that they're going to replace these with. So, master closet. And this is actually pretty good size. It's 6 feet that way and probably about 8 feet that way. Coming back in, and then you hit a T here and go to the bath, single sink, and toilet and tub. They haven't done a real good job of keeping the water in the tub. This piece of trim needs to be replaced. And we don't have that issue over here. But again, it's cosmetics. And then this is the community bath. So again, I would clean this stuff up, especially they knew we were coming to inspect. They're using those blue tablets in the toilets, which are, yeah, that'll clean up, but it's stained the toilets, obviously. And you'll see here in a minute, there is a kid's bedroom with kids living in it, but I kind of get the vibe here that there may be a recently, I get the vibe that there may not be a woman in the house. I wonder if maybe there was a divorce and the guy's in here and he's got the kids. And I know that's a very sexist comment to make, but I just get that feeling. So again, you know, this paint, there's some spots here that it's probably a kid with crayon maybe. So nothing structural, but cosmetic. Next, child's room. And they have these bunk beds things in here which make this seem very, very tight, but this room is actually probably about 10 feet that way and 12 or 13 this way. And then a standard closet. And there's, this wall is not, I mean, I don't know if you can see this or not, but down at kid level you can see some smudges and stuff on it. Linen, there's a big linen closet. So that is it for the upstairs. And I'm going to go ahead, I think, and lap through the living room again and then head out back. How are we looking, Bill?
Electrical's good. Water heater was 09 strapped.
Mm-hmm.
Original furnace, but electric furnace, they tend to either work or they don't.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
good to have it looked at. But,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
All right, I'll let you keep moving, and I'll catch up with you in a minute. So here, this is why I think they've been pulling these outlet covers is I don't want to know what would have been breaking them all, but something has. So, and those things, I mean, they're 25 cents a piece at Lowe's. And like I said, I wonder if maybe they were getting ready to do a little bit of work and clean up and fix up and replace outlet covers and things and sell the house, and then something changed. So, so back here, they haven't done a whole lot to take care of this backyard. And the back of the house, we do have two issues. We've got a gutter up here that's coming loose. And then we have some decay down here at the bottom of this wall, and it's limited to just this area right here, and it's been created because that gutter has been loose for a long time. The solution to this, I pointed this out on a house that we looked at here over the last few weeks, and the solution to this is to cut this board back, cut, you know, the bottom 6 inches off of it or what have you, and then put a band there, another board. And that's the typical fix for that. I see that all the time. But I don't think we're going to be able to get them to fix it. Now, when we have the appraiser out here, there's a very good possibility that the appraiser is going to call that and say that needs to be fixed before it can close. Same with the gutter. And potentially the same with the outlet covers and things. It's very hit and miss with these appraisers. Some of them do their jobs. Some of them just come through, give you a value, and that's that. So that's kind of where we're at on that. But based on our negotiation with these people, I don't think I'm going to be able to get them to fix that. I have a feeling that if we were to come at them for very much of anything at all, they would put the house back on the market and they'd get it sold again right away. So this gutter that you see here is the downspout for that same gutter that was sagging at the other end. So that gutter has issues, more than one. Not a big complicated fix, but it is an issue. And like I say, I think it's better than 50-50 that an appraiser would call it out, but there's not a guarantee of that. And then this gate is actually, that is a swing type gate if you wanted to get an RV back here, or something. One thing we should, well, I'm going to leave this up to you guys, but when we do our inspection response, I'm kind of concerned that this trampoline may get left here if we don't ask to have it removed. So anyway, that's something to kind of food for thought for when we do our inspection response. And then coming down here, this fence has a couple of issues just right here. The posts look very solid. The fence boards don't have a whole lot of life left in them. Fencing is something that I usually recommend you talk to your neighbor about and try to split the cost. And usually people, you know, if you're reasonable, usually people will cooperate with that. I know I've done it several times. So walking on back here, nice tall fence, privacy from the neighbor in the back. And that house is I can barely see over the fence, but it's a single-story rambler, so there's no way they're gonna, even if this fence wasn't here, they wouldn't be able to see into your windows. A little bit of, this looks like where they've been piling branches and grass clippings and things like that. So, and then this is a decent-sized building. I'm gonna say this is probably 12 by 16 feet. Looks like it's well framed. Looks like they were going to insulate it, and they've got a bunch of wiring there. Looks like they were going to insulate it and wire it up, and it didn't get done. There, I don't know how much of that you can see, but they pulled all the wire and everything is in place. They just haven't made the connections. So, but it looks like a real solid structure. The roof looks solid. I do see two spots where it looks like they nailed the roof, and there's a little bit of moisture intrusion, but it's not bad enough yet to have caused any damage. And the thing to do would be to go up and clean the pine needles and moss off, and that may or may not stop the problem. If not, a little bit of tar will. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's because of that debris up there on the roof. So, and then we've got the fire pit, obviously, in the kids' playhouse. And this looks to be real solidly built as well. Bill will not inspect these accessory dwellings. Well, he would, and we could pay him a little bit more for it, but I don't think it's worth it. These are not something that would need a building permit or anything. And he typically doesn't inspect non-residential, accessory type structures. So, but like I said, this thing seems to be solid. No movement, no rocking, no nothing, and it's standing on a half a dozen 4x4s. So, I mean, I'd be comfortable sending my kids up here. The only thing that would worry me, I suppose, would be the lack of a rail on this step, on the right side of the step, because it is about 8 or 10 feet to the ground. So, and then the deck here, and underneath the deck, this lattice work has been broken out, and I don't know, it doesn't look like there have been any critters under. Well, there's no lattice on the far end, so they can come in that way as well. But anyway, I would probably replace that lattice work just to keep animals out from under there. And then your concrete slab outside the door here is a little bit undermined. That's probably from kids playing and digging years past. It's not recent, but it's not cracked or anything, and it seems to be, it seems like it's settled a little bit on the right hand side, but I mean, I don't think it's going anywhere. So this is also something that is one of those things that's not uncommon, and you just kind of either live with it, or you could, if it bothered you, you could buy a couple sacks of concrete and get it up underneath there. So this side of the house looks good. There used to be, I think, quite a bit of vegetation here, and you can see how they've kind of did a 90% job of removing it. And then the only thing I'm a little concerned about, and I haven't talked with the inspector about yet, is those chimney chase is what that is called. And there's a steel pipe in there coming up from the fireplace, which is going to be solid as a rock. They're very, very safe. The issue is then they build that wood box around it, which is more aesthetic than anything. And a lot of times that wood chase or that wood box around it will get water sitting on the top. It works its way down into it and causes problems with the siding. There's nothing apparent on the outside, but until Bill gets a good look at it, we won't know for sure. So anyway, I think that's about it. I'm going to end this video here, and then we'll do another video, kind of an out briefing with Bill. And what I usually have him do is kind of his overall impression, 3 high points, 3 low points. And then I like to have him kind of tell you how he thinks the inspection went compared to, the last few homes he's inspected. And my guess would be he's going to say that he's used to homes being a little bit cleaner. And my guess is he's going to say that he's used to people doing more of the cosmetic stuff before they put the home on the market. Other than that, we will just have to see how it goes. I'm guessing we've got another hour to go here probably. But once we're all done, I will get back to the office and get these videos uploaded to you. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.